In the last 10 days, two top US officials have visited India, offering a slew of defense deals as well as cooperation in emerging technologies. This as Prime Minister Modi gets set to visit America on his first state visit. America is making India a top priority in the Indo-Pacific, but it's not alone. Just last week, the German defense minister was in India as well, offering India 6 submarines as well as 2 industrial corridors. So what's the India pivot? We tell you in our next report.
From submarine sales to co-production of jet engines to big-ticket arms deals, India is at the center of a new global tilt to shift the power center away from China and Russia. Countries like the US, UK, France and Germany are stepping up their military ties with India. The US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in New Delhi just this June. In the run-up to Prime Minister Modi's visit to the United States later this month, a range of regional security issues were discussed in the meetings. A new roadmap for the US-India defense industrial cooperation was agreed upon, including possible plans to jointly produce fighter jet engines in India and officially unveil Indus X, the establishment of the India-US Defense Acceleration Ecosystem. The two sides decided to fast-track technology cooperation and co-production in areas such as air combat and land mobility, systems, surveillance, reconnaissance, and the undersea domain. Indus X, the new initiative to advance cutting-edge technology cooperation, is designed to complement existing government-to-government collaboration by promoting partnerships between private firms in the two countries. Austin stressed, however, that he was not trying to establish a NATO in the Indo-Pacific, but the deepening partnership is aimed at establishing India's leading role as a security provider in the Indo-Pacific with an eye on China. The slew of agreements might also be Washington's way to slowly wean India off its reliance on Russia for military hardware and spare parts. For the West, despite India's refusal to criticize Russia over the Ukraine war, it remains a critical partner, and one that can be convinced to take sides if it was less dependent on Russia for weapons supplies. The two countries have inked key defense and security pacts over the past few years. This includes the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement in 2016 that allows the two militaries to use each other's bases for repair and replenishment of supplies. The COMCASA, or the Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement in 2018 that provides for interoperability between the two militaries and provides for the sale of high-end technology from the US to India. And finally, with the Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement in 2020 as well. Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, however, has ended up causing delays as well as disruptions in defense supplies for India. India wants to fill that vacuum, notwithstanding Russia's growing proximity with China, a relationship that has material consequences which India is aware of. Last year, Boris Johnson offered to help New Delhi build its own fighter jets during a trip. This last week, Germany's Defense Minister Boris Pistorius announced that German companies were in the race to bag a $5.2 billion contract to build submarines for India. Germany's ThyssenKrupp AG and India's Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited are likely to jointly bid the project. On the table, also the possibility of setting up 2 industrial corridors in Tamil Nadu and UP. The development comes at a time when India is looking to boost its domestic defense manufacturing, as it aims to counter China's growing presence in the Indian Ocean. In the past, India has relied heavily on Russia for its defense imports, but that trend seems to be changing in recent years. Russian arms imports to India stood at 64% of the total between 2013 and 2017. Its share dropped to 45% in the next 5 years, ending in 2022. Although Moscow continues to be the largest defense exporter for New Delhi, its share is expected to deplete further in the wake of the Ukraine war. India is also diversifying its defense technology imports with more influx from Western nations and Israel. As per the latest available data, France was the second largest defense exporter for India. US was at the third position, followed by Israel and South Korea. But there seems to be a clear shift in West's policy towards India as a counterweight to China's expansionism and Russia's belligerence. There are even talks of India joining the NATO Plus. For India, it's time to pick and choose what is in India's best interests. and stay the course of strategic autonomy.